Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to another episode of Target Precision. We've got another good episode for you today. Today we've got the TEMU products that we're going to be testing today. Mainly today we're going to be focusing on the scopes that I've gotten from TEMU for our AR-15s here. This is going to be a two-part episode. I've got another episode that we're going to be doing that is going to be red dots, which is on a 12-gauge shotgun and a 450 Bushmaster pistol. And this episode, though, we are going to focus on the AR rifles that I've put optics on. All right, so now let's go ahead and jump into it. All right, so first up, we're going to do a little torture test on both of these ARs. I have both of them fitted with optics that I've acquired from TEMU. Both of them cost less than $20. They've already been sighted in. I did that in my house. I only had so much room. They're sighted in at 12 yards. So we've got about a 12-yard target here. We're going to see where these are hitting before we start actually beating the living crap out of these things. And then from there, we will move on to beating the crap out of them. And then we'll test again, see where they're hitting. And then when we get back home, we'll test again to see if they're hitting zero still. All right, so first up, we've got the Omni Hybrid. We're going to go ahead and take 5 shots here. We'll go ahead and figure out where we're hitting. So first up, we've got the Omni Hybrid. We're going to go ahead and take 5 shots of this target here, and we'll go ahead and see where we're hitting at. We're going to be using our scope here. This is a 1 to 5. We've already got issues with this scope moving out of the way for the for our iron sights here. This has our super safety, but we're going to be in semi for this test only. Right, there goes the light falling already. I had already RTV'd that back into place. But, all right, let's go get our 5 shots through the optic. All right, I can tell you already the eye relief on this sucks. All right, so we definitely have this sighted in way low because that one was actually sighted in for about 100 yards. So everything was aimed here. Everything was hit right there. So we'll use that as our baseline. So after the second round, seeing if we're still holding zero, we should be 1, 2, 3 blocks. So we'll be 1, 2, 3. We should be right about here when we get done with this one. So now let's go ahead and try it with the Black Rain. All right, let's try it now with the Black Rain. Now this one's 0 to 12 yards. This one has a 3x9 on it. We're going to be using the 3 just because we're so close. All right, I could tell already that it was hitting a little better. I may have pulled one of them, but let's go ahead and see where we're at. All right, so I pulled these 2. I know I did. But here you got 3 of them. 1, 2, 3. One, we punched the same hole. So like I said, this one was 0 to 12. I pulled those 2. Don't mind me. All right, now let's move on to the fun part. All right, so the fun part is we're gonna be throwing these things around. My rifles are gonna get dirty. I'm gonna have to clean these things up, but let's see if they actually hold zero. Let's see if they hold up. Let's see if they break. And then we'll check zero again on the paper. Let's dive into this part. All right, firearms have already been cleared. Got nothing in there. Go ahead, show. Nothing. So, all right, let's go ahead and beat it up. Let's throw it around. Some, if you're gonna actually use this for something, you wanna make sure it's good. So, land it right on the optic. Give it a few. Want it to land on there. Let's say you need to actually use this for something and you've got to go out and you got to jump a fence. You got to throw your rifle over, right? There you go, right on it. And I guess we're also testing a little bit of this bipod here. This is from TEMU. A couple of these attachments are from TEMU on this thing. But we've got some dirt on there. Let's give it a good old drop test right on the top. All right, now let's go ahead, give the same exact treatment here to our Omni. All right, so I don't have much hopes for this one. Our Omni has this scope on it, and this scope has this, like I had said before, it's got this fixed iron sight, but this part of the optic has been swiveling, and it's currently cranked all the way so it doesn't go the other direction. I've got this extra light that's mounted onto the side of it, and it's just, I don't think this one will hold zero from everything. So, yeah. Let me go ahead and show. Clear. All right, let's go ahead, throw this thing around a few times. Same thing. Oh, that was right on it. I'm hoping the light holds up as well. Oh my God, that's got a bunch of dirt in it. Let's go. Throw her around, you know, over the fence test. Oh, that landed on the handle. Handle's full of dirt right now. All right, we missed the optic. There it goes, right on it. And final, let's give it the drop test. Right on it. All right, she's dirty. We got some crap in the barrel. So we gotta get that out of the barrel and let's go see how it does on paper again. All right, so we've thrown this thing around a ton. It is covered in dirt. Let's get a look at that. So yeah, we'll go ahead. We're gonna aim at that bottom part. I'm gonna aim a square higher. That way we can actually hit that square that we were getting at when we were testing this. So I've got my 5 rounds. Let's go ahead. Give it a try. Okay. All right, so like I said, I was aiming a square higher. I was aiming at this spot right here. And before, when I was aiming at this square, we were hitting 3 blocks lower and little to the right. But this time, we were aiming here, and we are hitting I think we punched through this spot. That's definitely twice, once. Maybe we went through this one twice. It kind of looks like it. Maybe we went through this one 3 times. But it looks like overall it stayed about the same height for the elevation, but we are very close. But it definitely is going left more. I don't know if that has anything to do with the optic being actually twisted now. So when we go back to do the bench test, I'd be really interested to see how far that one is actually off. Also, at this time, if you're enjoying this content, I would really appreciate it if you go ahead, hit that like button, hit subscribe, go ahead, follow us. Make sure you check out some more of our other videos. We do a lot of different testing. Also, let me know in the comments section what else you want to see get done as far as maybe some other optics or anything like that you want compared, or some kind of penetration test. All right, so now we got our Black Rain again with the 3x9 scope. So we're gonna go, well, 3 to 9 to go any range. We're still at 3x. I have not cleaned it off. This thing is super dirty. So I'm gonna go ahead now, 5 rounds again, and we're gonna go put these into that same spot we did before. All right, so everything I was aiming at was right here through that optic, and it looks like we're still at the same elevation because these were hitting just below where we were aiming, and a little, you know, I guess you could say that was to the left, that was to the left. Those you could blame on me, not the optic. But these, you know, maybe it did shift, but they're all pretty much at the same elevation, but it just seems like maybe the optic has moved itself. So that does it for this portion of the test. Next, we're going to take it to the bench top. Okay, so now we're back at the workbench. We got our laser bore sight already set up inside of the Black Rain. This one is the one with the 3 to 9 zoom on it. I've got my red dot from our bore sight already turned on. I've taken a look already, but let me see. I may have to move the camera around for you. So trying to hold it steady for you. I'll show you that focus. But I just had it. Looks like our sight is off. This one was sighted in for 12 yards. That's how far it is from this bench to that wall. But if it's moved that significant at 12 yards, I mean, imagine how off it is when you go further out. Okay, so this one, I would say, I don't know, it could be attributed to maybe these were not tightened down. I did not use any Loctite with anything. So, I mean, you can see I haven't even cleaned it off. It's still dirty, dirt everywhere. So it may just be that this slipped inside here and these need to be retightened. Maybe some Loctite came loose, but all in all, it's not bad. Even though when we did the paper test, the elevation was still correct on the paper, but it was shooting more left. But this is showing that the elevation is just off on our dot on the wall. So this one, I'll give my evaluation at the end. So let's go ahead and pull that one off the wall and take a look at it. All right, so now we've got the Omni back onto the bench. We've got the laser turned on with this one. And again, we're at 12 yards with this one. This one was originally sighted in for about 100. And so you can already see that even before I threw this thing around, I added one of my shorts, was that this part of the scope moves. There's a thread here. I put some blue thread locker on it, but that did nothing. And to test it, to give it a little bit more of a, more pressure onto it, I had this light that I mounted on it. Again, TEMU. Everything on here is from TEMU, except for our Hoffman Tactical Super Safety, and I do have a Magpul angled foregrip on it. Everything else on here is from TEMU. So this one also does have, the iron sights on it. You can adjust elevation. You have red, blue, and green colors that you can change your static standard black T-box in there. So I've taken a look at it, so I will go ahead and show you. All right, so I'm doing my best to hold her steady here. But you can see that it has definitely changed both elevation and it has changed the center. That would explain why it was way off. I mean, who knows where this thing is actually hitting. It's not a great gun anyway, but at 12 yards, it still should be fine to be able to hold into something like that. But again, if you look at our iron sights, even the iron has shifted on the actual optic itself, because this is vertical. Don't mind him. Titan's a little crazy, but yeah, if you wanted to, there's your iron that way. So both of those optics were both bought from TEMU. One of them is the brand on there that is T-Life, and the other one is Fiachi. So if you see either one of those scopes, just know what you're getting yourself into. The one that is from Fiachi is the one with the extra iron sight on it and the extra Picatinis on both sides of it. Me personally, it looks cool because it's like a Giga Chad looking thing on there. It's way extra. Will I trust it? No. Just throwing it on there for fun? Sure, why not? Mag dumping and I just need to be in a general vicinity? Sure, good for that. But you can get other things that are better for that, such as just a static red dot, because I don't use that gun for long range. The other one is the V-Life, and I've seen good things online about V-Life, so I had some hopes up for that one. So maybe I'll do a little bit more testing in part 2. Part 2 is going to be the red dot that is on the 450 Bushmaster pistol that's here, and which is pretty similar to a Romeo Sig 3. And this one is a EOTech knockoff that is on this 12 gauge shotgun. That is a Citadel Boss 25. We'll give them the same treatment, maybe a little bit more. I've done a short of this one, throwing that one around in my room. And that one has held zero pretty well so far. And I've even had it at the range and it's been holding zero. And I'm happy with this one so far. That one is a Fiachi as well. So that's going to wrap up today's video. I hope you enjoyed this content. We got much more coming like it. Please make sure that you hit the like, subscribe, and if you've gotten an optic from TEMU, let me know down in the comments section so that I can be on the lookout for these kinds of things. I love them. I love trying to find something budget friendly because I'm not going to war. I have no military experience. I love guns and everything that comes with them. So if I can do it budget friendly, why not? But that's going to wrap up today's episode of Target Precision, and we will see you next time.